I'm 72 years old, and I need to tell you something that's going to make you uncomfortable. You're running out of time. Not someday, not eventually, right now while you're watching this. I know that sounds dramatic, but let me show you something. I recently used one of those life expectancy calculators. You know, the kind you'd never look at when you're 40 because death feels like someone else's problem. The calculator told me I have 13 years left. 13. That's if I'm lucky. The most common age of death for men where I live is 85. I probably won't even make it that far. 13 years. Think about that for a second. 13 years ago feels like yesterday to me. And now I'm supposed to believe that's all I have left. Is it any wonder the days feel shorter now? That weeks fly by before I even realize they've started? I used to think I had time. Everyone does. But here's what nobody tells you about getting older. It's not one big moment where you suddenly realize you're old. It's 1,000 small moments where your body reminds you that the clock is ticking, whether you're ready or not. Let me share 5 harsh realities that come with being my age. If you're in your 40s or 50s, consider this a preview. If you're already in your 60s or 70s, you'll probably recognize every word. Either way, you won't forget what I'm about to tell you. Don't get me wrong, I haven't got regrets about my life. I've had a good career, a strong marriage, done most of the things I hoped I'd do. I made smart choices 20 years ago that gave me freedom in retirement. But here's the thing nobody mentions. Even with all that freedom, aging doesn't care. It doesn't care about your plans, your health, your timeline, nothing. Early retirement gave me options, but it didn't give me immunity. So here's reality number 1. Your time is more limited than you think. I mentioned that calculator. 85 years old. That's what it says I've got if everything goes right. My Uncle Archie is 95, so maybe I'll beat the odds. But you know what I've noticed? After a certain age, life looks rough. Really rough. Archie lost his wife when he was 82. His last 13 years haven't been great. He's alive, sure. But is he living? That makes me think about these years I have left, between 72 and however long I get. I don't want to just exist through them. I want to cram as much actual living into them as I possibly can. Because when I look at that number, 13 years, or 20 if I'm incredibly lucky, I realize something. I've already used up most of my time. The question I ask myself now, every single day, is this. Is this how I want to spend today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because I don't want to waste what's left. It's not about regretting failure anymore. It's about regretting wasted time. And trust me, at my age, that hits different. Reality number 2. Health is everything. And I mean everything. A few months ago, I lost weeks to arthritis, flare-ups in my knees and feet. Couldn't walk. Couldn't put one foot on the ground without sharp, shooting pain. For someone who walks 5 miles every day, that was hell. Something as simple as arthritis completely flipped my world upside down. That's when the what-ifs started creeping in. What if I lose my mobility permanently? What if there are other health issues waiting around the corner? Cancer, heart disease, diabetes. All the things that wait patiently for people our age, ready to strike when we least expect it. My Uncle Archie has been healthy his whole life. 95 years old and never had a major illness. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? To make it that far without your body betraying you. But I can't count on that. Nobody can. What I've realized is that energy is just as valuable as time, maybe more. So now I manage my days around energy, not schedules. If I don't have the energy for something, I don't do it. If I'm feeling strong, I pack the day full. I don't make too many plans. I try not to look more than a year ahead. I just take each day as it comes. And here's the big one. I'm not postponing things until next year if I can do them today. Because next year isn't guaranteed. Hell, next month isn't guaranteed. Reality number 3. Family disappears. I come from a tiny family. I'm an only child. Christmas used to be me, Mom and Dad, Grandma and Granddad, Uncle Archie, and Auntie Jean. Just a small gathering. That's what every Christmas looked like for most of my life. Now it's just me and Uncle Archie. Everyone else is gone. My wife, my son, that's it. That's all I have left. And it makes you focus, let me tell you. It makes you realize that the relationships you have aren't just important, they're everything. I spend as much time as I can with my son now, as much time as I can with my wife. We've been married nearly 40 years. 40 years this September. And you know what? We still haven't planned what we're doing for our anniversary. She wants Paris or Florence. I want to sail across the Atlantic to New York. We'll see who wins. But here's the thing. It's not about having family. It's about showing up for them. My wife's parents are still alive in their 80s. We make sure we spend time with them. We go on holiday together, me, my wife, my son, her mom and dad. Scotland in March, Portugal in September, again at Christmas. Every year, the same routine. Those moments, those holidays, those dinners, they're priceless. The memories we make together are probably the most precious thing I own, because I'll tell you what I've learned. People don't last, memories do. Reality number 4, simplicity becomes everything. Since I turned 60, I've made a real effort to simplify my life. I stopped collecting things. If I buy something now, one thing comes in and at least 2 things go out. I'm constantly getting rid of stuff, decluttering, downsizing, letting go. And it's not just physical, it's emotional. Therapeutic even. I can't tell you how much lighter I feel since I started doing this. When we were 60, we moved to a smaller house. I got rid of 75% of my things. 75%. And I'm still going. You know what the best part is? When I do finally die, according to that calculator at 85 or whenever it happens, my son won't have to deal with a mountain of crap. There won't be some house clearance van pulling up to haul away decades of accumulated junk. That weight is already off my shoulders. And more importantly, it'll be off his. What you own at my age should reflect what you value, not what you bought, not what you accumulated, what you actually value. And for me, that means experiences over possessions. Every single time. Reality number 5. Don't become a grumpy old man. It's so easy to fall into that trap, to start believing the past was better. The good old days. You hear it all the time from people my age. But was it really better? Or was it just different? I don't think the past was better. I think it was just familiar. And there's no point clinging to it, living in it, saying things like, "Oh, I was happy in the 1970s. Now everything's terrible." That's the wrong mindset, especially once you're past 60. I'm still learning, still growing, still adapting. I enjoy now. If that means embracing new technology, new ways of doing things, fine. I'm okay with that. Because one of the most important things you can have at any age, including over 70, is a growth mindset. Don't be a grumpy old git. It's a choice. It's a mindset. Embrace happiness. Be friendly. Don't walk around angry at the world. You'll get all the mental benefits of that attitude. Because the reality is, being bitter and grumpy is a negative mindset, and that negativity can literally affect your health. Aging doesn't have to mean everything closing down. It can still mean everything opening up. The only difference is you don't have as much time left to do it. So here's what you need to take away from this. Time is short. Spend it well. Don't waste another day doing things that don't matter. Don't waste another year waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There's only now. Health isn't guaranteed. Protect it fiercely. Take care of your body while it still works. Move. Eat well. Don't take your mobility, your energy, your strength for granted. Because one day, maybe sooner than you think, it'll be gone. Relationships are fragile. Nurture them daily. Show up for the people you love. Not next month, not after you finish that project. Now. Call your parents. Spend time with your kids. Be present with your partner. Those moments are the only things that will matter when you're where I am. Legacy matters more than accumulation. Stop collecting things. Start collecting experiences, memories, connections. That's what you'll care about at the end, not the stuff in your garage. And mindset defines whether you age bitterly or brilliantly. Choose growth. Choose curiosity. Choose kindness. Because the alternative, bitterness and anger, will poison whatever time you have left. I'm 72. If that calculator is right, I have 13 years left. Maybe more. Maybe less. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to waste them. I'm not going to spend them angry or bitter or full of regret. I'm going to live every single day I have left. The question is, what are you going to do? If you're 40, you probably think you have decades. If you're 50, you think you have time to figure it out. If you're 60, you're starting to feel it, aren't you? That creeping sense that the runway is getting shorter. But here's the truth. No matter how old you are right now, you're running out of time. We all are. The only question is whether you're going to wake up and do something about it, or keep pretending you'll start living later. Because later has a way of never coming. I hope these 5 realities hit you the way they hit me. Not to scare you, but to wake you up. To make you realize that the life you're planning to live someday needs to start today. Don't wait until you're 72 to figure this out. Don't wait until you're staring at a life expectancy calculator wondering where all the years went. Start now. Make the changes now, so that your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, even your 90s if you're lucky enough to get there, can be the years you actually lived, not the years you let slip away.